Okay, I'm Ron Vickers, and I was going to demonstrate how I clean my tables. I have 5 workbenches, and of the workbenches, I want to keep them looking like they're new. So one thing I do is I try to make sure that we don't have any nails in it. If you focus down that, see, you can't, I can't get it out. You know, it's just not going to come out. So if that's the case, I go with, I'm going to look back up. I use a nail set. A nail set, it just has a little cup on the end of it. And if I can't get it out, then I just drive the baby home. And once I get it underneath the wood really good, I mean really sunk down so it won't bother me, then I'll use some kind of either wood filler or some kind of rock. I like this best, but the kids can't mess with that. They don't do well. And the idea is just, if there's a hole there, you just fill it. And when the kids do it, they make a real mess. They try to put too much. Because you want to put just enough to fill the hole, but then you got to go back and sand it before you put finish on it. And you can see by looking at the table, all these little white dots, or some dummy with a skill saw. That was me. And every one of these dents, every time a kid takes a hammer and just whacks it, it makes a dent in the table. You can tell by looking at that if you get the right light right. So this right here is the edge of a hammer. Somebody just did that because it's darker finish there. But the big old gouges, they're hard to keep filled up. Anyhow, I'm trying to get a smooth surface, so I want to have every hole filled up. And I'll go back, and after this dries, I have to pad sand it a little bit so that the only way I can do it is do this, fill it. And I can fill where there's an imperfection. It's like an auto body, you know. There's people in Detroit trying to get all this stuff perfect finish. So once I've done that enough, well, you might have to do more to get the old stuff off. So that's where I use the belt sander. So let's go look at a belt sander. Now we're at when we want to get something off the tables before we get ready to finish them. So I use belt sanders, and this is a 3 by 21 inch belt sander. And the way you change the belts is on this one, it's measured 3 inches, and it's 21 that way. They used to have an arrow, but now they're made so you can put them either way. You don't have to worry about it going the right way. So you just put it on the sander, shut the lever, and then I like to, when I plug them up, I like to make sure it's tracks. So I'm going to plug this sucker up. The outlets are close by here. This is important. Make sure a belt. And when you ask me what amps it is, I don't know. I just know that I like the fact that it's not so heavy, and I'm hoping that high school kids can use it. You use both hands on it when you use it. All right. So to make sure, first thing you put a belt on, you want to track it. So I'm going to hold the trigger, and I'm going to turn this knob to make it go back and forth. Once you got it tracking, you don't mess with that. Now the other thing you ought to know is that when you turn it on, if you hold the trigger, you push that in, it'll keep it on. You can turn it off again by just pushing one more time. The last thing to know about when using a belt sander is I'll sand this. It feels rough right here. Kids will roll over top the cord, and they will screw it up in a heartbeat. So I make them do this. I make them put it behind their neck so that there's no way, and two hands on it. You don't play with it, just let it run. So you...
Safety glasses are always a good option.
Yes, I should put those on. I have some. I'm gonna get my glasses. Stop for a second. Yes, since I was told I should wear safety glasses. Let's wear safety glasses. The product I use is called Minwax polyurethane. Now they make clear gloss, semi-gloss, and satin. I like the clear. I think it makes it look nice. The only pointers I have on using this is you read the instructions. You have to clean it with like a lacquer thinner, paint thinner. So I just buy cheap brushes. So after I finish putting the finish on, I throw the brush away. And the brushes I buy are the ones you get, the chip brushes from Harbor Freight. This is a big one, 3. You get like 2 dozen for $10, so it's freebie. But the key is, if you look here, when you open a new can, take a nail and put a little tiny hole there. So the reason you got that little tiny hole is so when that rim fills up, when you put this back in, It won't splash in your face. You know, otherwise you just clog up. So this table's ready for the second coat. We put one coat on it, and then I had the kids take a sander, and they do get to do this. A pad sander with like 220 grit, and just sand enough to get the roughness off the first coat. When the finish goes into the wood, it kind of swells the fibers, and you get air bubbles and stuff. And you this is a situation you come across a whole lot. You get tables that's maybe it's in a lab that uses small engines, oil and stuff, a lot of painting, and you get tables like that. And you might decide, hey, I don't want to sand all this off. It's going to take me forever. So you just get yourself a supply of this little thin masonite. I believe this was donated by a door company. You put it on the table, get it lined up like you want, and you screw them in. And then all of a sudden you got, well, if I can do this, you got a nice new bench. And that's what they do here at the Ag Lab. That's enough.